Hello, thank you for joining me once again. This is Commercial Property Club. My name is Ola Ibiwoye. Today's topic would be what I would call 6 tips for successful commercial property management. It is imperative that you have a good management in place in all types of commercial real estate, in terms of leasing, in terms of also buying and hold, and also disposition. A good property management is needed in order for you to get a good outcome when it comes to investing in commercial real estate. Today I'll be considering 6 tips for commercial property management. Number one, use a good commercial property management software. One of the biggest challenges in managing commercial properties, such as apartments, office space, industrial centers, or retail properties, is simply keeping track of all the information you need to make informed decisions. Some key statistics to monitor includes informations like rental income rates, total monthly expenditures, which type of businesses are occupying which properties in terms of leases, applicable local and federal regulations also to guiding whatever cities you have your property, renter turnover rates, and work orders for property maintenance. This is a lot of things to keep track of manually, so it may help to invest in a commercial property management software that can simplify tracking critical data. Some additional features to look for may include renter communication, online billing pay, and property marketing features also too. Number two, know and understand the different types of commercial properties. Commercial properties can be much more varied than residential properties depending on how they're zoned. From office rental space to spaces optimized for retails, to restaurant space, to industrial manufacturing space, to apartment units. There are many different types of commercial properties out there. Knowing the different needs of each is crucial to long-term success in commercial property management. For example, a restaurant or industrial commercial property may require more stringent fire safety measures than typical retail or office space would do. Industrial rental property might have a significant high demand for power utilities than your office rentals. When engaging in commercial property management, it is vital to understand the needs of different types of commercial property so you can have more effective management in place. Number three, balance business type in commercial property units renters. When signing a new commercial property rental lease with a tenant, it is important to consider how well that renter will mix with the existing rentals in the nearby commercial property units. Why? Because if you put several companies that are competing for the same target market with similar goods or services, they may end up actively interfering with one another's profits. When commercial property renters aren't profiting, they will consequently have a harder time paying rent. So when managing a commercial property with multiple business renters in close proximity, it is vital to carefully balance the kinds of businesses that you have near one another in your properties. For example, it's often best to avoid putting two, say like shoe stores right next to each other, unless one specifically targets men's fashion and the other women's. There will be too much overlap in their target customer audience. Number four, always remember to be proactive with property maintenance. Keeping Commercial properties in top shape should be considered a given for any property management professional or manager. However, simply keeping up with the basic maintenance and responding efficiently to emergency maintenance requests isn't enough. It's important to apply preventative maintenance to commercial properties to protect both your interest and the interest of the renters also. How does this pre-exemptively inspecting for potential issues and applying preventative fixes help both you and your commercial property renter? And here's some few ways to do that. It helps reduce maintenance costs. Fix small issues before they can become larger issues is a good way to save money on property maintenance. For example, fixing a plumbing leak while it's still trickling is a lot cheaper than having to tear out and replace large sections of your property's wall or the floor because of water damage. It keeps your property looking nice. The appearance of your commercial property can play a role in the success of the business that rent space there because it helps attract customers. This in turn helps renters make their payments and encourages them to keep renewing their leases rather than to take a leave. It also helps prevent injury. A lack of maintenance can lead to dangerous condition in a structure, from respiratory hazards of mold growth to tripping on uneven flooring to slipping in water muds from leaks. There are many hazards that occur when maintenance is lacking. Using preventative maintenance helps to prevent these injuries. It can keep property value up. Commercial properties are often valued based on their grades of classes. You have your A, B, or C, with better grades being able to command high rent fees. Falling behind on maintenance issues can lead to a reduction in class, which makes it harder to command high rental fee for the property. Maintenance is often the significant most important issue for determining whether renters will be renewing their leases or looking for a better place, a greener pasture elsewhere. So it's important to be proactive with your maintenance as a commercial property owner or manager in place. Number 5, having a working system in place to replace lost renters. Even the best renters won't last forever. They may come to a time in which a commercial property rental business grows too large for the space and they decide to move to a new state for tax reason even, or they simply have to close their door because of financial difficulties. The problem is that finding new renters to occupy a commercial space is often far more difficult than it is to find new renters to fill the residential space. Everybody needs somewhere to live, but not everyone has what it takes to launch and manage a business. This is why you should take the time to plan ahead for potential vacancy. For example, you should communicate with renters a few months ahead of their scheduled leave renewal and ask if they're planning to renew or not. If not, ask why and see what you can do to help smooth the transition. Then start preparing to market the about to be vacant rental or unit. Why ask about the reason for stopping the lease? Yeah, because if it's something you can control, you may be able to change the renter's mind by making some simple changes. Otherwise, you may be able to make improvements for the next renter so they'll make more likely to renew their lease. You may want to start advertising the space online and offer tours of the space with the current renter's permission to show off what it looks like and to get people interested. It may take a business, that business, several months to be ready to move. So doing this early, even before the current renter leaves, can be helpful. Number 6, good communication. Contrary to what you might assume, tenants don't mind hearing from the property management in place regularly. It's nice to get an email reminder that your rent is due and you know about upcoming property maintenance. Luckily for property managers, a lot of this type of messages can be scheduled and automated as long as you're on top of the whole thing. It's best to communicate early and often with tenants and respond to their requests and concerns promptly, truthfully, and kindly. Additionally, be sure to have clearly laid out policies and terms in the lease agreement that you have with them. This can help prevent disputes and often clear courses of action when issues may arise. So, in conclusion, successful property investment outcome depends on good property management because it will ultimately affect the returns on investment, both the cash flow as well as the appreciation. Thank you for joining me once again. This is Ola Ibiwoye of Commercial Property Club.